everybody, my name is Layton, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm back with episode 6 of the anime Death Note. Now I just took a break from filming to eat lunch, so some details have become a little fuzzy, but I'm going to try to remember what happened in the last episode. Bear with me. So last episode we found out that the person who was following Light, who was tailing him, was actually an FBI agent, and he was one of like 15, I think, who had been brought over from the United States by L to try to track down Mira, which is Light. That's the serial killer code name that they've given Light because they don't know who he is. So we found out that Light's stalker was an FBI agent who was tracking him to make sure that he wasn't Mira, and it wasn't that they suspected him of it, they were just trying to follow any school-age children of members of the police department because they know that somehow Mira has access to police files. And that's because Light's father is fake Commissioner Gordon. Imposter Gordon. And so we found out that the guy was an FBI agent, and we found out his name because Light was testing the boundaries of the Death Note, and he found out that he can choreograph things to happen by specifying how a person will die. It was very fascinating. I truly don't think if I had the Death Note and like I had any reason to use it in that way, I don't know if I'd be able to figure that out. I don't know if I'd be able to figure out like the timing of it or what would need to happen like step by step to make something go my way. I just feel like that would it would end up horribly for me. But Light's smart, you know, he's a bit of an asshole, he's a bit full of himself, but he is smart. And so it worked out. He got the guy's name, and so then he was able to get the guy to hand over the names of the other FBI agents. The guy basically killed his colleagues by writing their names unknowingly in the Death Note because he had like pages that it was crazy. It was so cool. And because all of those FBI agents died, then the Japanese police force found out that L had the FBI investigating them, and it became like this whole thing where nobody trusted each other, and a ton of people who were a part of the Mira investigation quit because they were afraid that they were going to be targeted now that they knew that it wasn't just criminals who were going to be killed by Mira. And now we're down to like, I think like 5 members of the task force. They trust L and L trusts them, and so I guess L is now going to reveal his face to them. I doubt he's ever going to tell them his name. That would be a stupid move. And I don't know though. He says that he trusts them. I feel like if he's smart, he doesn't trust them because he has no reason to trust them just because they stuck around in the task force. I talked about that a lot last episode. I don't know. I'm just saying personally, I wouldn't trust them. Oh yeah, and the FBI agent had a wife or a fiance, and now she's also maybe investigating. I guess we'll find out more about that maybe in this episode. But yeah, that's what happened, and I am more than ready to get into this next episode and find out what's going to happen next. If L's going to reveal his face to these police officers and what that's going to entail, what that'll do to help, if anything. So with that said, I say we get into episode 6. Except first, you know what time it is. It's time for me to thank my amazing new patrons. Look at them. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Sincerely, your support means the world to me. And if you currently are not a member of the Patreon, first of all, what are you doing? You're missing out because over there you get access to a ton of really cool perks, and my personal favorite perk is access to extended, fully edited, but uncut reactions. And even cooler than that, at the $10 tier, you get early access to those extended reactions. So every video that you can see here on my YouTube channel, you can watch over there, but fully uncut. So if that interests you at all, I highly recommend you go check it out. Link is in the description. And now with that said, on to the episode. Yep. This frumpy motherfucker is L. Oh, he's such an emo little boy.
This is him?
I'm Yagami of the NPA.
Matsuda.
I'm Aizawa.
Mugi.
Yukita.
I'm very sorry we're late. Currently, the 5 of us are...
Bang!
What the hell was that?
If I were Kira, you'd be dead, Mr. Soichiro Yagami, chief of the NPA. Kira needs a face and a name in order to commit murder. Please do not give out your name so carelessly. Let's value our lives.
It's funny, L looks like he would be the crazy bad guy killer like in any other anime.
Please turn off all your cell phones, handhelds, and any other communication devices and leave them on the table right there.
I realize he's been cautious from the very beginning, but I still can't tell if he trusts us or not.
No, I just find them distracting. Let me start by saying nobody takes notes on anything that's said in these meetings. That means when we leave headquarters, any information we need is
He looks so feral. I love him. Absolute favorite character by far. I don't know why he looks familiar. I don't know if I've seen pictures of him online or if he reminds me of a different anime character. I can't figure it out.
From now on, I'll have to ask that you stop calling me L. It's Ryuzaki now.
If we know that he needs a name and a face to kill, couldn't we cut down on the number of victims by keeping criminals' names from the news?
If we do that, we'll only be putting the general public at risk. Kira is childish and he hates losing.
Just what do you mean?
Well, I'm also childish and I hate to lose.
I like that. I like that they're kind of two sides of the same coin.
Now, what do you think would happen if we tried to use media restrictions to hide criminals from someone like that? If you choose to withhold the names of your worst criminals, I'll kill petty criminals or the innocent. I'm not the evil one here, but all those who oppose me by hiding criminals, you are truly evil.
He's so smart. Oh my god. I'm like ridiculously attracted to this character. It's kind of embarrassing.
Let's look at another way we can use the media to draw him out. How about something like this? Death of FBI agents infuriates the U.S. Nations agree to send 1,500 investigators to Japan. Psychologically, he'll start to feel cornered, and that will cause him to take some kind of drastic action.
So he'll think there are 1,500 when there are really only 7 of us.
Before we celebrate, I'll tell you the rest of my thoughts on the Kira case. Kira works alone.
What evidence do you have that he's working alone?
Hold on, Aizawa. Let's listen to his entire theory before asking questions.
No, but I would also like to know why he thinks that he's working alone.
On December 14th, 12 FBI investigators enter Japan. Here we are on December 19th. Using prison inmates, Kira conducts experiments manipulating his victims' actions before they die. In other words, during this window of only 5 days, Kira became aware of the FBI's presence and obviously felt threatened. And as we all know, on December 27th,
I got a hold of a file which contained all the names and faces of the FBI investigators in Japan, and I succeeded in killing each one of them. I have to make sure that no one ever finds out that I came into contact with Ray Penber.
Don't they have like video cameras or something? Like, couldn't they track down like where each of the FBI agents was and like watch the camera footage?
I suspect Kira had to be one of the people being investigated by the FBI between the 14th and the 19th of December. These are files provided by the FBI, and they contain additional information you might find useful.
There weren't that many people who had access to information from headquarters, and of those, the FBI only investigated a small group in the first 5 days.
So, does anyone have any questions?
They have
Actually,
to like
Ryuzaki, I do have one question.
be able to
for
narrow
you.
it down to his son within
And it
like
pertains
seconds,
to what
right?
you said to us earlier about how you hate to lose. Does the fact that you've shown us your face mean that you've lost?
By showing my face to you now and by sacrificing the lives of 12 FBI agents, I have lost the battle, but I'm not gonna lose the war. This is the first time I've ever put my life on the line. I want to show Kira that we're all willing to risk our lives if that's what it takes. And that justice will prevail no matter what.
Okay, I don't like that smile. That's a weird smile.
I had my doubts about whether it was really him at first, but there's no mistaking it. This man is L.
Just one clue, a single decisive factor is all I need.
Just one oversight. A single piece of evidence is all it would take.
Just one thing.
It's kind of like a Sherlock and Moriarty situation, you know? Where they're both equally intelligent and they're like going against each other.
I'll be fine. The biggest risk I've taken so far was that busjacking incident. Fortunately for me, both the police and Elle don't know that Kira can kill people by means other than a heart attack. If anyone were to discover that fact, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Your father's been pulling overnighters with no change of clothes, so you're going to bring these to him.
But, Mom, I totally promised my friends that I'd go out with them today.
Why don't I go?
Thanks, Light.
Oh, you're bringing a page. Planning to kill someone?
No, but lately I've been bringing a page with me every time I go out, just in case.
That's...
That day,
He's really in it.
Ray said that he was planning to go to Shinjuku. That same day, 4 people died of heart attacks in the Shinjuku area, and there was the bus jacking.
Okay, I was gonna say, is she gonna take this to the police?
Kira can kill in other ways. It doesn't have to be a heart attack.
The mobile customer you are trying to reach
That's unusual for
currently
Dad.
unavailable for voicemail.
Please, I need to speak directly with someone from the Special Investigation Task Force.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but I can't help you. As I've told you already, there is no one at Task Force headquarters right now.
I have information relating to the Kira investigation.
Uh-oh. She really shouldn't be speaking out loud.
Hi, I'm Detective Soichiro Yagami's son, Light Yagami. I brought my father a change of clothes, but it doesn't look like he's in. Can I leave them here?
Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Light. Does this mean you're going to be helping us with the Kira investigation, too?
Sure. If all goes well, maybe I'll find Kira before Elle does.
Find him before Elle does.
As I thought, there's no one at headquarters. I'll be sure to give them your message as soon as I see them, I promise.
My father is actually in charge of the Kira investigation. His cell phone is off at the moment, but I should be able to contact him soon. A number of FBI agents were just killed, and a lot of detectives have quit the case because they're afraid of Kira, so he's pretty busy right now.
It's probably better if you don't discuss this with...
True, but it's practically common knowledge at this point. Besides, I feel like I can trust her. You can almost see it in her eyes.
He's such a manipulator. Gross.
I'm sure my father will be calling me back once he checks his messages. When he does, I'll give you the phone and let you talk to him. You understand why I can't just give you my father's cell phone number. You'll have to trust my father and I, which I hope won't be too difficult for you. We've been talking and I just realized I don't even know your name. My name is Light Yagami.
My name's Shokomaki. It's written with the characters for Shining. Ko as in child, space, and ki as in tree.
I've been thinking about Kira's powers, and I believe they enable him to somehow control his victims before they die.
It's odd that you say that, because that's exactly what I've been thinking.
If my analysis so far is correct, Kira can kill in a number of ways, not just with a heart attack.
She is walking
knows?
right into it. And she told him how to spell her name!
Anyone else knows this
Oh
yet.
fuck. Oh,
If the
she's a
police
goner.
had to consider
Oh
it,
no.
I bet it would help them catch Kira.
So what you're saying is anytime Kira wants one of his murders to go undetected, he wouldn't use a heart attack.
I'm almost positive that someone I know may have met Kira.
I'm sorry, but if a person came in saying they'd met Kira, the police would be more than a little skeptical, to say the least.
That's why I need to explain it in person to someone from Task Force headquarters. Otherwise, I'm afraid they'll just write me off.
But wouldn't it be better if your friend spoke to them instead?
He was one of the 12 FBI agents who came to Japan to investigate Kira. You see, he was also my fiancé. While he was working, he got caught up in a bus jacking, and I have reason to believe that he met Kira on that bus.
She's just telling him everything. She should not be telling him this stuff. I don't care if she thinks he's the most trustworthy person in the world. What is wrong with her? She's an FBI agent. Is she stupid? The people who wrote the show were stupid for making her stupid.
What makes you think he met Kira on that bus?
Because 8 days after that bus was hijacked, he died, along with the other FBI investigators.
I wouldn't trust a single person if I was involved in this shit.
I've come to believe that Kira set up that bus jacking. It was planned to bring him into contact with my fiancé. What stands out to me is that the hijacker died in an accident. It suggests that heart attacks aren't the only way Kira can kill people.
Oh, he's got murder in his eyes. Holy shit. If looks could kill.
I understand. You're the only one who knows any of this, and you want nothing more than to avenge your fiancé by bringing Kira to justice, right? There's no doubt in my mind your deductive skills are excellent, but you can't deny that you have a personal interest in the case. Still, your theory is worth looking into. That's for sure. Your testimony could be central to the case.
She's a goner. She is a goner.
If what you're telling me is true, then it'll only be a matter of time before the police catch up with Kira. The person your fiancé showed his ID to on the bus that day, it had to be Kira.
And he brought a page with him, so...
This woman, if she'd spoken to the police before I met her, it seems there's a god on my side after all.
Yeah, he's floating
And
next
not
to you
just
and he
a
looks
god
like a
of death.
freaking weirdo. I'm noticing red and blue is a big... Oh, that's it? That's the episode? Anyway, red and blue is a big motif, it seems like. Okay, so I mean, we can all agree that that woman is an absolute goner, right? Like, she's fucked. She literally just told him everything. Why, when there is a killer on the loose who has these mystical killing powers, and you don't know who he is, and you know that he well, she doesn't know that he requires a face and... Well, but she kind of did. Because she said, she pieced it together that he had to show her fiance, had to show his badge with his name. So obviously she knows names are important and probably faces. And she's just going around telling this kid her name and how to spell it. And then he obviously sees her face. And then she's just telling him everything about that she knows about the case and her suspicions and whatever. Like, yeah, I don't care that his dad is like police chief or in charge or whatever of the investigation. Like, lady, use your brain. You are FBI. Jesus, it's just like so frustrating watching it. It's like, oh my God. I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm just so used to Elle being so smart and not getting tricked by Light, you know, that just this woman completely falling for this bullshit just make me like, gah! But like, nah, man, you wouldn't catch me dead. I don't care who the kid is. I don't care what people say about the kid. If he is not the person in charge of the investigation, I'm not talking to him. I'm not telling him shit. He literally said that he would let her talk to his dad whenever his dad called him back. So just wait. Just be like, yeah, I'd rather just talk to your dad. I don't really want to tell anybody else until, you know, I give him my information. But let that not detract from the fact that we finally got to see Elle's face. And he was weirdly attractive to me specifically. I don't know if he's attracted to anybody else, but I thought I don't know, I think it's just like how smart he is. I don't know, I find something about it very like, you know? He's a little weird, he's a little eccentric, but like, what else would you expect from somebody who investigates impossible to solve crimes for a living and literally lets nobody know his name or his face? Somebody like that is bound to be a little eccentric, okay? We should have seen that coming. I still think that God of Death, Ryuk I think is his name, I still think he has like ulterior motives. I think he's got something else going on, because otherwise, why would the writers, or I don't know if this was a manga before it was an anime, it probably was, most are, but whoever initially came up with the idea, I don't see any reason why they would make the rule that he would have to like stay in the human world and like watch over and whatever, unless there was like a reason for it. It's gonna play some bigger role. He's gonna play some bigger role eventually. I see that coming, especially with the fact that he has a death note and then Light has a death note. And there's like that rule where it says that the gods of death won't interfere one way or the other with like if a human writes in the death note, like if somebody's gonna die. Just I don't know, I feel like all of that's gonna come around in some way. But yeah, I'm just eager to get into the next episode and see how this woman gets absolutely murked, because Light has a page from the death note, so he's obviously he could write her name down like in 3 seconds and she could not even know what's happening, or she could know what's happening and it's not like she could do anything about it. Like, what's she gonna do in 60 seconds before she drops dead, you know? So, with all that said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to hit the like button and make sure to subscribe so that you can get notified every time I upload a new video. What I'd like to know in the comments is, what are your thoughts on this woman just blabbing everything to Light? Do you agree with me that that's like the dumbest thing she could do? Because I sincerely can't fathom why she thought that was a good idea. If you had really important information and like it was like this kind of a situation where anybody could be the killer, would you just tell them just because their dad is apparently in charge of the task force, or would you keep the lips zipped? Because personally, zipped, locked, throw away the key. Also, tell me your thoughts on Elle, because like I can't be the only one who's like weirdly attracted to him, right? Like somebody else, there has to be at least one other person out there who feels the same way. Don't let me be alone in this, please. Also, before you go, I just want to give you one final reminder that I have a Patreon and that I have fully edited but uncut reactions over there. So if that interests you, and especially if you want early access to those reactions and access to a ton of other really cool perks, you should head on over to my Patreon, check that out. Link is in the description. And finally, I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.